The mind, the mind is a real funny thing. With destiny. Your mind, your destiny. Your mind, your blessings. You can receive your blessings, but if your mind tells you that you don't deserve it, or you're not ready for it, then you'll reject it. So it'll be there, but it was like it was never there anyway. Here's the thing about the mind and suggestiveness is, anyway, I'm reading a book, and under hypnosis, a man burnt his hand and suggested that he burnt the opposite hand. And through suggestion, a burnt mark came up on the left hand. He burnt the right hand, and he suggested to him that I burned the left under hypnosis, and the mark came on the left hand, the blister, suggestive. Now, if you could do that physically to your own body, if you can have a wet dream where your mind tells you that you're having sex and it tricks your body into doing every actual function that it actually has to produce, to actually, your mind's pretty powerful. So it's not far-fetched to think that you can have a blessing and miss the lesson. Actually, the lesson is the blessing, but most of the times we look at it as a tragedy. But if you look at each lesson, I took you through something. When you look back, you were grateful. But while you went through it, you were probably pessimistic. And then from looking at hindsight, you become optimistic. However, when you go to your next step, you're usually kind of pessimistic again, waiting for the optimism to happen after it's all over. So the concept is simple as this, like even in love, and the reason why I said it's also about relationships and about people also. Like you can actually be in a great relationship, but if your mind is telling you that this person's not the one, well, they're going to mess up. This person's going to do that. Well, they're okay as long as, you're going to miss that person because you are not, and you're not allowing yourself to be fully you because you're waiting on a tragedy. So while you balled up waiting on a tragedy, you're not allowing yourself to be who you are. So you're cheating them from your mind state, and you're cheating your own self. Your own self. You're missing out because you're waiting on a tragedy. And if it's going to come, it's going to come anyway. But how much happiness did you have in between? Waiting for the inevitable tragedy. It came. You won. But what did you get in return? Just the brace of impact? So you enjoyed none of it in between. I mean, you could have laughed. You could have had fun. You could have had some great feelings, some great times. No telling what you could have possibly had. Matter of fact, maybe if your mind wasn't so locked on the disaster, you could have even possibly avoided the disaster. Well, what if I try and, well, one thing's for sure. The formula that you try right now has worked every time. It is end in disaster. So you have won. You have nothing to lose but disaster. Oh, well, it might ultimately break me down. To win big, you got to bet big. It's the only way you can win, kid. That's for everybody. So your mind can produce the outcome of your life, of your spirituality, the way you attack life, the way you enjoy the day. Your mind state.